I use templates for almost everything in my business, starting with website templates and finishing with emails for communication with clients and customers. When you have a small team, automation is crucial to preserve your time and help you get things done. In this video, I'll show you how to create a template for all of your broadcasts in ConvertKit. Every time you want to send an email, you don't need to create it from scratch. To make your life even easier, I also have an extra bonus for you. I designed 3 free email templates ready for you to use, so make sure to grab them below. If you're new to this channel, hi and welcome. My name is Ksenia. I'm a brand and website designer, and here I share Squarespace website design, marketing tips, and tutorials for busy creators and entrepreneurs. So make sure to subscribe. All right, so log in to your ConvertKit account. And from here, the first thing we want to do is to adjust our color palette. And we would want to navigate to our icon and click on settings. You want to navigate to general, and here you can add your business name and as well as save color palette, which is going to be useful down the line when you're going to be editing your template. Here you would want to add all of the colors you use in your branding and make sure to save changes. The next thing we want to do is navigate to email template. In here, ConvertKit already pre-loaded some of the templates they have here, but we can create a new template that we're going to be using. Let's just pick one. Let's say this one. So this is a starting point, and once you customize this template, every time you would want to send a newsletter to your email list, you can reuse this template over and over again. But obviously we want to customize it to fit our personal needs. Here we have a name of, we can name our template. Let's start with template number 1. All the tools that are going to help us customize the actual text. So as an example, if we want to make this text larger, we can adjust the sizing here by clicking 40. And then let's say we want this to be aligned to the center. We can also change the color. So here is our saved color palette. That's why I say it's going to come in handy later. So we can just choose one of the colors from the palette. Let's say this one. We can also add a link, or we can also use a highlighter like this one. This is a paragraph, but we can change it to a heading or a bulleted list, etc. The email template consists of different sections. So here's our section, and usually section is highlighted. You're gonna have a plus icon to the top and to the bottom, just like here. This is our one section. And inside this section, we can add an element. For example, we can add a button, and we can type our call to action here, and then every time you have to edit an element, you're gonna have this panel to the right that's gonna give you an options to edit. For example, we can change the color, the background color, and then the text color would be like, let's use this. We can also remove the rounded corners from this button by clicking none. And for the width of the button, we can have it auto, which would just resize, depends on the amount of text we're using, or we can use the full width. And we can also adjust the margins. Let's do large, and you see the spacing above and below the button have been added, and as well as alignment, etc. We can also change the font of our text. As of right now, we are not able to add custom fonts to ConvertKit, but there is plenty of options we can choose from. So let's use a bottom, and we want to use it bold, and then we can also adjust the sizing of our button, the letter spacing, etc. We can also add a border color. For example, we want a border. Let's do this color, and we can simply remove and change the color of the button, and now we have an outline button. Here on the top, you're gonna always see like a crumble navigation that would show you the element before that. Currently we are editing a button element, but if we move to the section and let's just change the color of the section, we can also just click on transparent. We can also add a background image, which might not be good in this particular case, but this is always an option, depends on what kind of look you are trying to achieve. And then if we navigate back to the template, this is basically the background color. So let me just show you all the way. If I go back to the section and instead of transparent, I use it as a white, you can see how it stands out on the background color. If you hover over this section, you can duplicate this section or you can erase this section. So we can move it down. We can also duplicate it and remove it. Then inside the section, we can, let me just copy some dummy text that we can use. Let's say this is the text we would like to use. We are missing some of the paddings to the left and to the right. So I would like to add that. Here we can change the size of this. And then if we navigate to the section here under the spacing, we can adjust. We have margin and padding. In this case, we want to adjust the padding. Let's do large. And now it's already easier to read when we have some space. By clicking this plus icon, we're going to have more options that we can utilize. We can add obviously all the options for the headings, paragraphs, bulleted list, etc. The personalization is when you can tag a subscriber's first name, last name, whatever that is. And the other option that is very useful for creating emails is the layout. If I choose a layout, here to the right, we're going to be able to select different layouts that we can reuse in ConvertKit. I would like to change the font. You want to make sure that you're always using the same font. So I would stick to 2 fonts, let's say New York, and this could be a Roboto font that we already used prior. You can also change the color for it. Then here, I feel like the line spacing is too wide, so we can adjust that in advanced settings by adjusting this toggler over here. We can also adjust the letter spacing. This looks great to me. We can always look at this navigation to the top right, and it would always show us what are we editing right now. So we were just editing the heading 2, and now we can change to the column. For example, now it's this column, and we can change the background color. For example, our brand color. We can also adjust the spacing again. Let's make it large and change the vertical alignment. And then as we navigate back to the layout, now we can add an image that is going to be on the back. And I don't actually want any overlay. I'm going to use it as a transparent. I would like to use a different image. So if you want to change the image, you just click on this background image and drop your image over here. Here we have it, and now we can adjust the padding. I feel like this is too much space on the top, which I do not really like. So I want this to be smaller, maybe like 100. It's the same for the bottom part. I also want it like 100. Looks beautiful. Let's just navigate to my website to grab a link. Let's say this is a link I would like to use. And here we would type our call to action, and to the right we can always add our link. So now this is going to be linking to my homepage. This looks a little bit hideous, so I'm just going to remove this. And we can add another section below this, which is going to be this one section, and then there's going to be another one, or we can add another element inside this section. So for example, we can add another paragraph. Let's add another section, and let's make this section a different color. So instead of white, maybe we can make it a little bit more of accent color. And then let's add another layout. Here we can scroll through the layouts that are available, and you can always customize and add on the top of the layout, but it's good starting point. Let's use this section to feature maybe one of our products. We would like this to be our brand color. Again, remove the rounded corners, and maybe I would like it to be a little bit large because it seems a little too small. We would change the name over here, and see here we can also add another like paragraph, which is going to be a different font. The headings, we were using New York font, maybe a little larger, and adjusting the line height. And now I'm gonna select this column again, and here navigate to the column, and this is the image. Click on the background image and drop whatever the image you would like to use. Looking great. Now we can also duplicate the same section, and let's say we want to feature another product. Now again, I'm going to navigate to the column, click on this background image, and drop my image over here. Don't forget to use links. So here, I'm going to add those links. The next useful element that we can utilize here would be a testimonial. And I'm going to add a new section, and I would like this to be white. So we have some sort of separation to make it easier for people to read. So we have an introduction, then some call to action, then we introduce a few products in here. And again, the structure of your newsletter or the template that you're going to be creating for yourself is going to be dependent on what kind of content are you planning on sending to your email list. Are you going to be promoting your services? Do you have e-commerce shop, a blog, and you're constantly sending readers new articles to read? It all depends on your business. So make sure to create elements that are relevant to your business so you can save yourself some time. Let's add a layout, and here is one of the templates. I do not really like that there is not much spacing around it. I'm going to click on this section and navigate to spacing, and I would like to add around it. And if we add a margin, it will add a margin between the sections. If I click a normal margin, these two sections have been separated, and I don't really like that look, so I'm going to click none. And yeah, that looks great. And every time if you have an extra space, it's usually because you initiated a type there and you just didn't type anything, so just make sure to remove that. Here we can either include an image of your product or include a shot of a person for the testimonial. Navigate to the column and then drop your image over here, so we can change the name here. We can also change text, color. If you would like, we can remove this border around it. Let me show you how to do that. Under the column, navigate to the borders, and we want to make sure that it's set to none. See, it immediately have been erased. Or we can use a border, but let's say we want to use our branded color, and we would like it only to be on the top and at the bottom. We want to remove the right one by using 0, and similar here, we want to use 0. And we would like to add a little bit of more padding. Let's do just to give it a little bit of space for our design. And now we duplicated it, so we can add another testimonial and etc. And we can also move them around if necessary. This is looking great so far, and you can always come back to this template and adjust it as you need it. Let's click save for now. If we navigate to send an email template, we're going to land over here, and this is our template that we just created. You can create as many templates as your business need for promotional emails, newsletters, etc. Every time you want to send a broadcast, let's just pretend like we would like one. We want to click a new broadcast, and we have an option to select an email template that we would like to use. Let's select a template that we just created. So now we start by typing our subject line over here. The great tool that I utilize all the time is A/B testing subject line. ConvertKit is going to send, let's say you have an audience of 1,000 people, it's going to send an email with the first subject line to 100 people, and the next one to 100 people with the second subject line. And depends on open rate and engagement on that newsletter, they're going to determine which subject line receives more attention and just send that subject line to the rest of the people, which is pretty cool. And there is another way to save time in Kit. Go to send. We have email template and we have snippets. Snippet is a section that could be inserted into any email, while when you select a template, you cannot insert other email templates inside those templates, if that makes sense. So there is like a different use for it. Here you will see all the snippets you have created. This was a test of mine, so I'm going to create a new snippet. Let's say we want to create a footer for our newsletter. So here, similarly to what we were just doing in our template, we're gonna click plus icon and let's add a layout. Okay, let's add this layout. And what I'm gonna do here, this is gonna be follow us on Instagram. I would like this to be centered. I'm gonna remove all of this text because I'm not gonna be using it. From the text, we want to navigate to column and select an image. Similarly to this one, I'm gonna select an image and one more time. And I'm gonna remove the border radius to set it to none, and I want to set the background color to transparent. So I'm gonna replicate it to all three images, and below here we can insert a link group. Let's add a link to Instagram. We can also add a link to book. We can adjust the color of it. For example, we can use our color we've been using so far. We can adjust to show icons or hide them, just like that. And we can change the style of the icon. So we want to change the color of the platform, or we can select a custom one and then use a blue color and the border color. Okay, looks great. So this is going to be our footer, and we can also obviously add a link here and click apply, and let's click save. Let's say I would like to send broadcast. Okay, click a new broadcast, and we're going to select the same template we have been customizing. And then now here we have an option. So let's click plus icon, and we can navigate to snippets. And here we can sort. If you have multiple snippets, you're going to find different ones. But I'm going to select the footer one, and voila, it have been inserted here. And here we have it. We can also preview our email before sending, and we can send ourselves a test email. All right, I hope this tutorial was helpful and you're going to be able to organize and create templates for your business in ConvertKit and save yourself some time. Thank you.